Hello and welcome to our RLCS 2025 Birmingham Major North American Open 1 results review. Here, I'm going to be grading my predictions that I made about a week ago. And you'll notice in this video I had a beard, now I don't. Cut that off. Not related to anything about the video, just thought I'd mention it because this is only 1 week apart. And I wanted to talk about some first impressions and things like that. But I think a good way to start this is to just follow along with the video and kind of critique myself as we go. So without further ado, here I was. Welcome to this new type of video I'm going to be doing. I'm in the Rocket League space. Go right to the predictions just to have fun. I'm going to have the results here on the right. Daniel's my favorite player, so I have extreme biases towards him. And he played great. And as a spoiler, I often pick him to win no matter what the competition is, whether it's 2v2 or 3v3 Rocket League. It will be interesting to look at how the 1v1 series goes, but without further ado, it's NRG 3-1 Gen G.
What were they last year?
Let's see what I selected last week. NRG crushes Gen G. We've seen these guys have matched up so many times.
I was pretty
rosters,
right.
I should say.
Look at the score line.
NRG knows the Gen G play style. They know how Reddles likes to play. I think it's a 3-1. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was
I'm
a 3-0.
perfect on the predictions.
And it's no hate on Gen G. They came out. I'm perfect on the predictions. It is going to go downhill from here. I warn you. And before we do any space station gaming things, I need you to understand that A, I don't know ball, and B, I'm sorry, space station gaming. I'm sorry to all the players and the coaches for disrespecting you and putting you as going out in the bottom 4 teams, meaning I had them at like 12 through 16 or 13 through 16, whatever their grouping is. I did not expect them to play so amazing this tournament. And as an NA fan, the future is so bright for this team and for our region because this team is going to bring a different flavor. You can just see it from their play style. And I think it really reflects their coach, Xpear, who has an EU, or is it EU import coach? I don't know what you even want to call that. Their play style was like, it was like watching an EU team play against NA teams. So it was super fun to watch. And I totally disrespect Space Station Gaming and did not expect them to do as good as they did. So yeah, I apologize. And you're about to see them tear up my bracket. Does he go by Scribbles or Scrabbles? Probably Scribbles, right?
Scribbles, yes.
And then Reveal. And this is a very talented
and you better learn
team.
his name.
Strictly Biz beat them in Swiss. And
Can
so
you
I
blame
think
me
it's
for
very
picking
fair
Strictly
to
Business
assume they're
because
gonna
of how
beat them
Swiss
again
went?
within a week? I don't know if Space Station's
a
going to
close
make
game.
the corrections. I do
2-3.
think it's going to be closer than 3-0, but I think realistically, Strictly Biz is actually going to beat this team.
So I picked him as 3-1, whereas Space Station got the
3-2 win. So congrats to those guys. And obviously Space Station goes on to do even better in this tournament, and you'll see lose. So I think this is a close game. I think this is a 3-2. And I wouldn't be surprised.
It was
if
not that
Gas
close.
Comes out and wins the first 2 games, and then
They did not.
loses that gets reverse swept.
They just got
because
swept.
Omelette will kind of catch on and adjust as needed. I think this
Congrats
is a
to
very strong
Omelette for
team
playing well there.
defensively. Deleted versus Worstelstand.
Now, Deleted, I thought had a
don't know
great
anywhere.
tournament.
Sorry if I didn't
I'm
quite
so
say that
excited
right.
for Wavy.
This is going to be a 3-1. And I think Deleted
And
takes it.
it was a 3-0, so I was pretty close. I'm going to give
Just
myself
because I think
pretty
Deleted
good rankings.
has the
Relatively close,
No
but
offense
not a
to
very
Tech.
hard pick. 3-1, 3
Rebellion,
3-0, pretty
Shopify
close.
Rebellion versus Pirates
This
on a
one,
boat.
Shopify Rebellion did
of
me
course,
dirty.
is I like to be positive, but let's be honest. Shopify Rebellion probably needed to switch their team around to look for a different formula or switch their coach or do something different. Because a team with these 3 individuals shouldn't be a low-level bubble team. At least that's how I view it. And I really don't mean any disrespect to them because I picked them to win. I thought they were gonna go pretty far. You'll see in the tournament here. I thought they were gonna do very well. and they were probably one of the big disappointments, honestly. Two relatively newer players, I think, is how I would describe that. I picked Rebellion 3, Pirates 1. Reality, it was Pirates 3, Rebellion 2, and Rebellion did not look that good. Pirates looked pretty decent. You can see that one game was an absolute beatdown, 8-2. Luckily, it didn't keep getting to that point, but I mean, to get held scoreless in the last 10 minutes of your series, like, there's no reason a team of that caliber should be scoreless. So to me, that comes down to strategy. Unless I need to rewatch the game and, like, if there was like a miss or something, like, that just comes down to strategy, in my opinion. Which is Rays Bowl, CRR, and Diaz. Diaz, obviously a huge fan of Complexity. You'll see I was very high on, and I was correct to feel that way. 5s, 3-1'd them early round. I guess 3-0. I'm going to give myself a good grade for that. And what a great tournament that 9 Lives had, right? So let's see what I predicted. This guy's picked up Kofer, who's kind of up and relating wave, and Arju. I naturally I predicted a 3-2. In reality, it was a 3-1, and I don't think it was that close, really. So here I'm obviously, now we're at the point where some of the matchups aren't going to match what I picked because I've got the first pick wrong. So I picked NRG to win here. Obviously, they lose to Space Station, which was awesome. I mean, Space Station did amazing. They played so well. Took advantage of the NRG slow start syndrome that they seem to have and sent NRG to the lowers, which I think most people wouldn't have expected. This point, so I'm going to kind of skip through this part. Or he can lead the... Now, I picked... or who won? Deleted 1, 3-0'd Omelet. Let's see what I had to say about it. And it looks like they beat him down pretty good. Take 2 players out, and then it becomes a 2v1 with Gyro and Andy to score the goal. I feel like I like Deleted here, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a closer series. So that puts NRG and Deleted in the upper bracket final. Half right? Do I get any points for that? Ultimates versus Rebellion. I think Ultimates are coming in and they're going to dominate these guys. That's another case where it was the Ultimates versus Pirates on a boat. I expected Rebellion to be there. They kind of missed it. And I would expect the Ultimates to beat anybody in that upper bracket that they were playing. At least I did before the tournament started. So I think I gave them I gave them 3-0, but they 3-1 to different opponents. So not really anything worth counting there. If both of these teams play their A game, I like Complexity over 9 Lives. And so I mean, that's a good pick. I got to at least give myself props for that. Assume they're going to play their A game. Went to OT 4th game. Could have been closer. To Deleted. SSG wins here. I would say relatively tight series, minus that first game was kind of a blowout, 4-0. And then 4-1, 3-1 back, 5-3, 1-0. So not much to say there other than congrats to SSG for winning that bracket. Complexity comes out and wins 1, and then the Ultimates win 3. And I had a piece of that correct, right? So they won the first game, but then the Ultimates came back, won the second game, and then they just couldn't keep on that streak. So congrats to Complexity for winning the bracket. So as far as the uppers are concerned, SSG and Complexity, I think that is great for our region that the uppers were won by different teams than like the 2 groups of people we know. I think most NA fans are pretty happy to see that because that signals some level of depth. Now, if you're a hater, you're going to say, well, you know, these top teams are just bad. But in reality, if you watch the games, like the Complexity and SSG played well. Like they played good Rocket League. So I think in NA we can hold our head high and say like those were good competitive series. It does get better in the playoffs, but I would give myself like a C+, only because I had Space Station going out. No, I should give myself like a D, right? Because I had Space Station going out first round and they won their side of the bracket. Yeah, I should give myself a D. High on this Ultimate squad. I think they have this is where I have Space Station going out of the tournament. And that just shows what a bad pick that was. So let's go back to A. I can't see myself, so hopefully I'm pointing at the right thing. A, I don't know ball. And B, SSG, I'm sorry. You earned my respect. You earned a lot of people's attention, I'm sure. And there was a lot of people before from prediction videos I watched that said SSG was going to do great, and I totally dismissed it. That's on me. And I'm big enough to admit that I got that pick wrong. And so I had SSG going out right here. Obviously, instead, we have Gen G sweeping Strictly Business. Actually, let me just I'm going to speed through this. So I've got Omelet over Gen G. That was a close series, but Gen G pulled it out. It's not super surprising. And then Energy, I did not have them going to the lowers. So it was kind of a thing. And then I had Wurstelstein beating Gas. So like my bracket was kind of close, like 3-2 versus I had a 3-2 that way. And then Strictly Biz, I had them beating Wurstelstand. So this whole kind of lower bracket was kind of already not that good. And then obviously in this part of the bracket, NRG, Gen G once again kind of gets the raw deal of this situation, and NRG comes out on top. And that was a fun series to watch. And like that game, 7-5, super high scoring, a lot of offense, questionable defense from both teams. But kind of just like a fun shootout style game, I guess is the way I would describe it. So obviously here I had Shopify winning, so I had Pirates down here, whereas Shopify I probably would have put over Tech. I think I was a little dismissive of Pirates on a Boat as a team, so my apologies to them. And so let's kind of see where that leads
Almost
us here.
finals.
I had Evo over Almost Nuts 3-2. Got that score exactly right on my prediction. At least I got that. And then I had Rebellion getting sent down here, but really Rebellion got sent down to the different side of the bracket, so it's kind of tough to say there. I did have 9 lives 3-0ing Tech, but they did 3-0 Shopify Rebellion, so not a bad pick, but also different
Inverse
teams.
Team
Evo, that's going to be warm up. And Rebellion I had going further, and I had Rebellion making it. Team Evo ends up clutching out on Pirates on a Boat. And then 9 lives beats Team Evo for the seeding at the bottom. Let's see, what did I pick? Oops. I had Rebellion winning. Yeah, that just really screwed up my bracket. Come on, Shopify Rebellion.
This one out, and I think Rebellion comes out.
What's
on
that
top.
about? Let's look at the playoffs now.
So,
and obviously spoilers.
How
at this
does
point.
that look?
Imagine watching this point and you're like, "Hey, what
here?
about the spoilers?"
Verse.
I'm just gonna kind of skip some of these because I didn't have any of these picks right. I did have Ultimates winning, but they lost to Space Station, and I had Complexity losing to NRG, which sent them down to that bracket. But they're doing So let's jump to the 4. Ultimates, Complexity, NRG deleted. Complexity, check. NRG, check. Space Station, no. 9 lives, no. Obviously, this series was super close. It was a 2-1 on Champions Field. This was a great series. I would definitely recommend watching this if you only can watch a couple series. This was definitely one of them to watch. And it kind of shows you, I would say, some very fun Rocket League, and then also some encouraging Rocket League if you want NA to do well. NRG beating the Ultimates. This score looks closer than how it felt watching it, at least for me watching it live. I felt like NRG totally big brothered the Ultimates and just kind of like sent them along and gave them like the Daniel Atomic Beast Mode beatdown, basically. And so I did okay. I got 2 out of the 4, and I think if the Ultimates had played deleted or 9 lives and they hadn't got NRG, I think Ultimates are better than these teams and we would have seen them in the semifinals. So I think they got a little bit of bogus bracketed personally, and I think there's still a lot to see from the Ultimates. I did pick them to win the tournament, so they went out top 8, and that wasn't too good. I should have just picked the inevitability of NRG, but we'll get there. Okay, so I had Ultimates 4-3 in Complexity, and instead NRG kind of destroyed Complexity. And from what I'm remembering of this game, Atomic went absolutely crazy. Like, if you're an Atomic fan, like, this is the highlight reel. Like, he played out of his mind during this series. It was so fun to watch. And Daniel in Beast Mode, like, played good, but, like, it felt like Atomic just said, nah, bro. I can't let us lose to this team. Like, it felt like he put Daniel in Beast Mode on his back. At least that's how it felt to me. I want to rewatch the series because, like, he went crazy. He was going off. I saw him doing, like, full field dribbles. Like, that's not the type of play I'm used to watching him do. I'm used to him being kind of a sniper where he's kind of hanging as the second man or third man, often puts the goal in, but it's Daniel or Beast Mode that set it up. No, like, Atomic was, like, he looked amazing against Complexity. I guess he just turned it up that series. Like, that was so fun to watch. And so I obviously have Ultimates NRG here, but that wasn't possible. So it was Space Station 9 lives. I think anyone could look at these two and say, okay, based on how Space Station was playing, they are going to end up in the grand final. Now, obviously, my predictions are from after Swiss, but before any of the tournament play. And so, I did not have Space Station going this far, obviously. And based on how the teams were playing, even after NRG 4-0'd Complexity, if you would have asked me who was going to win Space Station or NRG, I would have said, probably Space Station, because they're so hot right now, and they were playing fearless, and they were playing so well together. And, like, all three of the players were just, they were like, you could highlight critical plays that all three players from Space Station made that, made them get that far in the tournament. It's not like one person just popped off. Like, the whole team, like, had moments from all of them. Like Frosty, I can think of a couple moments. Reveal, I can think of a couple moments. And then Scribbles had a ton of awesome offensive moments and probably good defensive moments too. And so you'll see, like, in the series score, this was a good one to watch, where NRG got the first win, but then they went down 3-1. So or 1-3, however you want to say it. So they had to do, they had to do, not a reverse sweep, but basically they had to win out those last 3 games straight, where they had, like, a BO best of 1 back-to-back games. And you can see, like, look at the domination of those last 3 games after the timeout by them. 5-1, 2-0, 5-0. Like, the last, I don't know, 12 or 15 minutes of gameplay, or 12 to 14 minutes of gameplay, SSG didn't score a single point on NRG. It was like NRG got the message that was like, hey, we're not gonna lose. Like, that's not what we do. Like, this is our region. We're big bro. And y'all can fight over second place. And, like, that kind of felt like the vibe, especially after Atomic, like, was Goomba stomping Complexity. And I'm a fan of Complexity. I think they're going to do great things. I think it's very realistic they will be either Team 3 or Team 4 in the region. And I think after watching today, it's going to be NRG, Space Station, Ultimates, Complexity. And Complexity and Deleted, I think, are going to be battling back and forth for that spot. And I think 9 Lives also looked super good, and their playstyles were super complementary. Like, it felt like they had good chemistry together. So I think 5 really solid teams. We'll kind of see what Gen G ends up doing. I'm kind of wrapping up here. We'll see what Gen G ends up doing, and kind of have a good sense of, what they're up to and if they're going to come back. It just felt like they don't have a high enough ceiling to beat these other teams, but their floor is good. They could very likely be a top 4 team, but I think they're going to be a bubble team in NA. Well, maybe bubble's not quite the right term. I think they're 5, but there's 4 slots. You know what I mean? So that is my prediction. So let's wrap up. What did I get most right? I got most right that NRG was going to be in the grand final. What did I get most wrong? I had SSG in the 13th through 16th tier. Look at the disrespect I gave. That is horrible. And I feel ashamed that I did it because obviously I don't know ball, and SSG, I'm sorry. So I would give myself like a C- because there was a lot of good picks, a couple exact scores, not too many of those. I give myself like a C-. And my main crime was underestimating Space Station. If I had Space Station in top 6 or top 4, then I would give myself like an A+. But I think because I missed so hard with Space Station Gaming and their roster, that I'm excited to see them play. Like the next time I get a chance to see them play, like they have a cool style. It's fun to watch. It feels very cohesive. The second man is always in their best, like great position. Like it is fun to watch Rocket League. So yeah, I think let's wrap it there. Gonna give myself a C-. Let me know what you think about how I rated in this, and let me know how your bracket went. And if you beat my bracket, tell me some secrets so I can do better next time. My intention is to do this for the future tournaments and probably for EU, possibly MENA, some of the other regions. I don't know them as well. I would say I'm a strongly invested casual fan. And you can see I kind of know ball, but really I don't know ball. So hopefully by doing this, I can hold myself accountable. And I would love to see more third-party commentators or people like me actually upload videos after the tournament happened and be like, hey, this is what, changed. This is how I was accurate. This is how I did wrong. Because I think those type of videos are fun to watch. And we're just taking responsibility. I thought I made some good picks. I also made some bad picks. And yeah, so let's wrap it there. I will see you for the next time. If you want more Rocket League content, please put a comment in there so I know. Otherwise, I have another series going on in my channel right now where I'm playing through Fallout 4 in Spanish to learn it. So if you like watching playthrough videos, check that out. I hope you have a wonderful day. NRG on top. I'm sorry for any disrespect to SSG, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye.